everybody. My name is Gabrielle Javier-Cerulli, and I am the author of Art Journal Your Archetypes, which is coming out in July of 2016. And I collaborated with a handful of really wonderful artists for the book. And I have one of those special artists with me today. Jessica, say hi.
Hi, hello.
So tell us, Jessica, a little bit about yourself, what you do, because there's a lot that you do. So what you do in terms of artwork and also your other work.
Sure. Well, let's see. I started out as a performing artist, and then, well, I always drew and painted and took a lot of classes as a child at the Brooklyn Museum in Park Slope, Brooklyn, New York. But my first love was always singing and dancing and acting. I went to the High School of Performing Arts in New York City, immortalized in the movie Fame. And then I went to college for 2 years, but came back to New York to pursue singing, dancing, and acting, and did a few things. But then I got involved in reproductive rights politics and decided to go to law school because my father and grandfather are lawyers, so it was a possibility always of something to do. Plus, it felt a little like an extension of acting to be a litigator. Practiced law for 6.5, 7 years at a big corporate firm in New York City. And while I was pregnant with my first child, my big craving was to be creative again. And so I started painting and drawing and decided one thing led to another, and I sort of fell into a career as a decorative painter. From there, started licensing my work, and recently found the world, in 2012, discovered the mixed media world, and was sort of able to combine my decorative painting work in the sense of stencil design and mixed media and creating backgrounds and texture and layers with my licensing work as well. So I sort of have a three-part art career of designing stencils and stamps for Stencil Girl and Rubber Moon, and doing teaching mixed media at my home studio and also in workshops, and then continuing with the more illustrative licensing type of work that I do. And I do a lot of Judaica work, which has been a nice way to tap into my spirituality because I'm also a yoga instructor. So there you go, lots of balls in the air at any.
And there's even more, which we'll get to. But I just wanted to point out, so she has the performer archetype, and she also has the advocate and the artist. Let's stick with the artist for a second. Do you have any samples of your stencils or stamps?
I do. So I have, these are just some of my stencils for Stencil Girl, and they're really grungy because they're very well loved and well.
I love when I see clean stencils. I'm like, it's like a clean paintbrush. What's nothing?
I know, or a white page. But I know some amazing artists who clean their stencils.
I do. I know they're very good. I know.
Like this is a very recent one. It's called Lacy Lotus, and so it sort of incorporates my yoga personality. This also is a sort of lotus themed stencil. So I have.
These are new, Jessica, aren't they? Like,
these two are new. These two are part of my latest batch.
Cool.
And then for Rubber Moon, I have, I actually have new stamps coming out soon with Rubber Moon, which I'm very excited about. But my most recent one is this really cute line called Build a Villa. Where it's kind of Middle Eastern villa inspired, but can really be anywhere, and you can kind of mix and match them and make your own village. And then I also do Judaica, or I would say Old Testament inspired stamps as well. So, well, this is really filthy, but it's a Tree of Life stamp, and I have a Hamsa, and yeah, so that's fun.
So. Also to include into the advocate, your work in Guatemala.
Yes, we are I actually have, this is my newest tattoo.
Love it.
It's a quetzal, which is the national bird of Guatemala. And I'm wearing my quetzal earrings, I think. Yep.
It's beautiful. Both are beautiful. But explain what you do in Guatemala, because a lot of people might not know.
In 2010, I guess, was our first trip to build a house for a poor family in Guatemala. And my husband's Puerto Rican, and because of his Spanish speaking, was able to, really connect with the two workers who supervised us. And then we went back a few months later to build another house because my older daughter wanted to share the experience, and she was away at college at the time of the first build. And we worked with the same two-worker team. Basically, this organization, you have your volunteers, and then you have two Guatemalan men who are your foremen, and you are the workers for them. And so then we met one of the men's wife and baby, and then we became godparents to that child. And so we've just become very involved in the community there. We helped build a school and a medical clinic, and it's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, so that, again, there's the mother archetype coming out, and the mystic as well, and the advocate. So it's all coming out.
And in our conversation together, when you sort of diagnosed me, my archetypes.
We just had a session. No more diagnosing for me.
No, it was really great because talking to you really helped me see how these aspects of my life kind of interconnect with one another. And, I'm sort of used to thinking of myself as kind of, I've got this lawyer persona, and then, I've got this mom persona and my artsy persona, but you really helped me feel how there's a real interconnectivity in all of this.
Exactly, because a lot of people might think, oh my God, Jessica's so splattered. That sort of thing. Or one of my clients, she actually was going to therapy because she was, the words like bipolar were getting thrown around, but it really wasn't it. It's people are multifaceted, and then you can kind of, at least with this language, claim all these different aspects of yourself. Validate, claim, unearth, discover, like all these different things. But like at a certain age, you're more just validating. My other client was in her 20s, so she was more like discovery. But it's just like, okay, this is who I really am, and at least I could put a name to it now.
Yeah, no, I found that so helpful. And as opposed to thinking of like, okay, now I'm going to put my community service hat on, or now I'm going to put my lawyer hat on, and yeah, you really helped me pull it all together.
Yeah, it all comes together. And so then what, because you're busy, as everybody in the book is, what interests you to participate in the book, besides the art journaling, mixed media part of it? But what else drew you to it?
I think it was what we've just been talking about, was really kind of exploring these different aspects of myself and how they can not only fit into the archetype model, but also be fleshed out and inspired by the symbolism of those different types. And I just found it really interesting to even go back and look at my own work in hindsight of everything we talked about, to see all these different themes coming through. And it's also, since we spoke, been very cool. Like, how sometimes you have those ideas, those days where you sit down and you're like, okay, I don't have a specific assignment. What do I do today? And so having the archetypes as, having discussed them, you can say like, okay, well, today, let me explore the mother side, or let me explore the advocate side. Let me do something inspired by that. And it's sort of a gateway to creation.
I love that, because that was one of my goals in my proposal of why I wanted to do this, because some folks who are going to pick up the book are experienced mixed media people, art journalers, artists, or whatever. But now this is new fodder for them, something new for them to explore, because lots of us have done a lot of things, mostly with techniques or supplies, but now there's a different kind of exercise that they can do.
Yes.
And the other world who's going to be picking up the book are folks who are, neck high in personal development or spirituality or things like that. And then they're going to be introduced into art journaling, which, so the marrying of the two was really what got me really excited. Because to me, and to a lot of us, especially in the book, one just goes with the other all the time. But that's not so for a lot of people. So yeah, that's what was the exciting part, is, and you nailed it. Like, sometimes you just need some direction, or sometimes when you sit at a blank page. Any surprises or ahas when we did our session?
I'm trying to think. It was a little while ago, so I'm trying to remember back. But I think what was surprising was to see how I really did fit into these types, and that also that the types, even if there are aspects of myself, like, for example, the lawyerly part, so sometimes I can feel like that part of me is maybe a little bossy or hard or strident, but thinking of it in terms of the advocate, and that part of me enables me to fight or advocate fiercely and strongly for things I believe in. And so, yeah, maybe sometimes it is fierce and it is strong and it is hard, but for a good cause. And so
it's all fueled by this passion.
Yes. And so I think that was very, that just felt very supportive and gratifying. Is that the right word? It just felt like it's a way to own these different aspects of yourself in a positive way.
Right. And it wasn't warrior energy. It wasn't that sort of, it wasn't that kind of energy that we talked about. It was passion. And that was fueled by that advocate part of yourself.
Right.
So what do you have coming up in the next couple months? In summer of 2016 or fall? You doing art and soul, or?
I have a new creative team, the Jessica Sporn Designs creative team, that I'm going to be unveiling on June 1st. And I can't say who's on it yet, but I'm so excited. All I will say is that it's 8 amazing women from 6 different countries around the world. And I am so excited about the global nature of this. So that's thrilling. And I'm working on, in my licensing work, a new line of, these are called tzedakah boxes or charity boxes. And so it's been a fun way to bring in, some of my watercolor work. So I'm working on finalizing these guys. And like I said, I have a new line of stamps coming out. I am also launching a new online class called Facing Faces. That it's 7 videos and a PDF, and it basically sort of synthesizes all the wisdom I've gained from taking tons of different people's classes and then incorporating what I've learned into my own style and what works for me. And so I'm very excited to share that. And that'll be live on my website on June 1st as well.
Wow, that's coming up. Fantastic. Yeah, and I'm excited for the folks to see yours in my book. You did the Nature Gal and the Mystic, but there's other elements in there as well.
Yes.
Very mixed media, very Jessica Sporn. You could definitely see your flavor in there. So they're beautiful pages, so I can't wait to let folks see that. So how do they find you, Jessica?
How did you find me? Was it through my
Oh,
Facebook?
I found you. Oh, I probably found you through stencils and then just started following you. But how do other people find you?
Oh, how do people find me? Well, oh, so many ways, but they can all stem through my website, my brand new website, which is up and running. It's sporndesigns.com,
Okay.
SPORN designs, all one word, .com. And that'll link you to everything, my Pinterest page. I have a Jessica Sporn Designs page on Facebook, but you can find it all through sporndesigns.com.
Congratulations on all this new stuff, Jessica. This is very exciting. And the website and the the stencils and the creative team, that's very exciting. So thank you so much for hanging out with us.
I am thrilled, and I have to tell the world this is my very first Google Hangout. So thank you for exposing me to this wild new world.
This wild new world, that's true. All righty, bye-bye. We'll see you again.
Bye. See you soon.